Hello lovelies. So I thought I'd come back and give you a bit of an update. So where are we? I don't even know. It's April 2021. Because lockdown, it just steals all brain function, thought, time and calendar keeping. So it's April 2021 and I thought I'd come back and do a 2-year update for you. I am right in the middle of my 2 years all clear. So the 13th of February this year was 2 years since my surgery, and the 31st of May this year is my first 2 years all clear anniversary. But I've already had my appointment with my oncologist, so I'm 2 years clear now. So I thought I'd come and just give you a bit of an update on what happened and kind of talk a bit about the menopause really and HRT and that. So let's get to it. So if you are going through any of this, I hear you, I get you, I know how scary it is. I've been having my oncology appointments in lockdown and they have been on the telephone. So you don't get to see your surgeon, you don't get to see your registrar. It's odd to say the least. I know that when you go and see your surgeon and see your registrar, you know, once your surgery's done and you're physically healthy again, you're really only chatting with your oncologist, and he's got your blood tests in front of him, and he doesn't really need to see you physically. But I definitely find the telephone oncology appointments slightly odd. They don't feel as, I don't know, real is the wrong word, but they don't feel as kind of personable. It's nice not having to kind of wait in the hospitals and sit around and all that, you know, sort of churn and build up. It's nice to just for the phone to suddenly ring, and, you know, more often than not, the appointments all run early because they're on the phone and they're able to kind of keep time. And so there's a lot of positives, but it's just weird. It's the times we live in, isn't it? It's just odd. So I'm having oncology reviews every 3 months, and that will be for the first 5 years, as is my understanding. So my registrar told me. So yeah, I'm having 3 monthly checks for 5 years, and my CA125s, which is kind of like the blood marker, has stayed low, really low, so anywhere between kind of 8 and 13, which is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. What I can say with sort of 2 years worth of 3 monthly appointments under my belt is the fear over those appointments, it doesn't go away. So don't worry if you are worried, and don't beat yourself up for worrying. I know that, you know, the whole positivity movement talks about, you know, don't borrow trouble and don't worry and stay positive and all those things. And I'm a big supporter of that, you know, stay positive and stay focused. But in the face of these appointments, we're going to worry, and that's okay. So don't worry if you worry. And then the other thing to kind of sort of say on the kind of, you know, the negative of it all is weird thoughts are going to enter your mind. So even after you've got your first all clear, even after you've got your second all clear, you'll do something, you'll move funny, and you'll think something. Something will go through your brain. I don't know, for me, where my scar is vertical from my belly button down, I can do weird things if I lean over the dining room chair to pick up a plate off the table. If I put pressure on a certain part of the scar tissue, it can hurt. And instantly in the back of my brain, it will be like, oh, it's come back. And those kinds of thoughts are natural. And they do sneak up on you. And it does bring back, like the 3 monthly appointments, it does bring back that kind of rush of fear and worry and all those kind of feelings that we get. And it is just a case of living with them. And from my point of view, it's a case of kind of letting from my point of view, it's a case of kind of letting those feelings be, acknowledging them, and then saying, right, okay, this is how I feel because this is how it's made me feel. This is just a process. It's fine. And it's funny how when you get those little moments of discomfort or those little moments of dark thoughts, when you can say to yourself, my next oncology appointment is in X number of weeks, it's fine, don't worry about it. So yeah, that's the kind of we'll get the semi-bad out of the way first. So that's that. If you're going through this or starting this, or there are things that hang about afterwards to kind of cope with. But that's okay, because coping with them means that we're all right and moving forward. So there's that. So on the 31st of May 2021, I will be 2 years all clear. And I know that I spoke, I think it was a couple of years ago now, I know that I spoke on my first all clear, 31st of May 2019, about kind of the menopause. And with 2 years under my belt dealing with that, I feel like I'm in a good place to share. So menopause. Oh, tell you. So I went on hormone patches within the first couple of months of surgery. I found the hot flashes and kind of the discombobulation, kind of real sort of foggy mind and sort of cognitively slow. I just didn't know if I was coming or going. So I've been on estrogen-only patches, which I'm sure I said before, and they really work for me. However, it is not, bear with, it is not a one-size-fits-all. So let's talk a little bit about hormone patches. So I am on an estrogen-only hormone patch, and I started on these. So these are the Fem7s, and they're a transdermal patch. So they come in these little kind of foil packets. You tear them open, and they look like Scotch tape, if you like. They don't look like sellotape. They look like kind of Scotch tape. They've got a slight opacity to them. And you stick them to the subcutaneous tissue, the fat bits. So, pick somewhere a bit fleshy, and that's where they go. I found that these patches itch. My nurse said to me that it's possible, because I started by sort of putting one on my bum, and my nurse said to me, she's like, if you're not fleshy there, she said, you will find that it can be a bit itchy, so move it. You don't put it anywhere up near the bust region at all, because it is estrogen, so you just don't do it. So then I've got plenty of subcutaneous tissue on my tummy, so I put it there. But I was putting it more towards my hip, and they were still itching, which apparently is quite common. As a side effect goes, it's worth a little itch because the benefits of the patch are so good. But for those of you that have had surgery, any kind of surgery actually, I've got numb patches. So I had a cesarean section with my girls. I've got twins and they're 15, and then I've got my big hysterectomy scar. So you can imagine there's a fair amount of nerve damage, and so there are numb patches on the sort of the tummy skin. So now I put them there. Don't feel a thing. So there's that. So if you're taking these and you find that they're getting itchy, put them on the numb tissue where it's a bit fleshy. So that. The Fem7s, these really worked for me. I really liked them. But there was a pharmaceutical stock shortage. Phew. And in the autumn of 2019, my pharmacist, who is a friend of mine, said to me that they were going to go out of stock, definitely across the South Coast, more than likely up and down the country, and they were going to go out of stock for 6 to 8 months. So I had a quick chat with my doctor. I didn't need to see an oncologist or anything like that at that point. And they're like, yeah, that's okay, we'll prescribe you a different one, make the change. And so they prescribed these ones. So these are the Estrodots. I did not. I couldn't get along with them. The hot flashes were breaking through. It's the same. It's the same. It's a transdermal patch. The Fem7s were 50 micrograms, and the Estrodots are 100 micrograms. So these are stronger. But for whatever reason, I just couldn't get along with them. I was still having kind of like issues where I'd find myself staring into the fridge thinking, what on earth am I doing? And I had a chat with the nurse at my surgery, and she's like, transdermal patches are very much like the contraceptive pill. It's not a one size fits all. You know, you do have to kind of work through the process and find one that works for you. So it can be a bit of a ball ache, to be fair, because obviously you feel like crap. If you're feeling like crap and you're trying to get, one of these as well, it can be a bit of a process. But if you end up on one first that doesn't work for you, don't think that means that all transdermal patches won't work for you. It's definitely going to be worth a little bit of trial and error, and it might be a bit of a fiddle for a few weeks, but it's so worth it in the long run. So these worked for me, these didn't. I've spoken to people who are the other way around. But then what happened is, when the Estrodots didn't work, I went on don't know how you say that. We're going to say Prognova. I think you can see it. So, and then I went on the Prognova. Now, I started on the Prognova on the 50s. And these ones, I was pretty sure that by the third day, I knew that these were going to be all right. The hot flashes have started to calm within 2 or 3 days. And the kind of the night sweats were already starting to dissipate, which is great. That's, as far as menopause goes, the hot flashes and the night sweats, they're right up there. I suppose I've got, what have I got? There's the top 4 for me about menopause, dealing with menopause, and there's no first, second, third or fourth. They're all equally bad. The hot flashes and the night sweats, that's kind of like a dual thing. The insomnia, the not being able to sleep, God, that's awful. There are people out there who can go without sleep. My husband, for instance, I cannot. I cannot function. I never have been able to. I can't function without a good 6 or 7 hours. I know, it makes me precious. But insomnia, up, down, awake for hours at a time. Oh God, that can finish you off. So yeah, the insomnia. And the other one is the discombobulation. I found myself driving and I couldn't remember where I was going. I can't remember what I'm doing. I'm very much used to my brain just kind of doing what I ask of it. And when it doesn't do that, I don't know, it's just weird. So the patches, the Fem7s and the Prognova, definitely did the job. Now, once I found that these worked, these came back into stock, but I didn't go through the rigmarole of kind of going back and changing, because these work just as well. Now, I'd been on them for about a year, and I was seeing my oncologist, and I said to him, he's my surgeon, and I said to him, he's like, are the patches working? And I'm like, yeah, they're absolutely great. They've stopped the night sweats, they've stopped the hot flashes, and they have stopped the insomnia. I still find that I'm a bit cloudy. And he said to me, oh, right, if it's cognitive function you're after, we'll just up the dose. I don't know why I didn't think to ask, or brain function, there you go. So now I'm on the Prognova, the 100s. And yeah, great, back to normal. I feel like kind of my response times are, as good as what they ever were. And yeah, my organising kind of just sort of mental capability feels back on track. I suppose there's aspects of that as well, because going through something like this is a trauma, and that takes the mental, physical and emotional body time to heal as well. So coming back online mentally, so to speak, may have had more to do with time. But to be honest, these little things work for me, and I will fight you for them. And so yeah, so I'm not gonna cock up the balance, because at the moment everything feels quite balanced. So when you go on transdermal patches, it's for having a full hysterectomy in your 40s. They put you on them with the intention that you're going to be on them for sort of 10 years or so into your 50s, and then you kind of chat about it and work it through. So we'll do that. I can't say more for that at the moment. I'm only 44, so yeah. So there's that. So that's the transdermal patches and a little update, and just basically a kind of what's been going on for the last sort of 2 years, menopausally speaking. I'm going to be making some more videos for this channel, and they're going to be kind of all kinds of things really, because as it turns out, I really enjoy YouTube. So there's going to be more bits and pieces about kind of everyday life and menopause life and all the other bits and pieces that I do, and you know, food and my little business and all the things. I'm just going to put it all on here. So if you want to touch base or check in or see what I'm up to, I'm going to be here. And if you are going through this and you want to talk, or you just want to reach out, or you just want to talk to someone that's going through it or been through it, drop me a comment in the box down below. And, you know, hopefully there'll be a few of us down there and we can support each other. So that's my random waffle and my little update. I hope everyone is okay. I hope you are staying safe, getting through the lockdown, taking care of yourselves and your others, washing your hands, wearing your masks, and all the things. And I'll see you all later.